Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Now, I would love to stand behind this, but then my handsomeness will be shadowed over there, so I'll stand here. I asked my mentor's name is Arun John Matthias, and I asked him, Arun, what is one thing that I should keep in mind when I'm about to deliver an education session? He said, know your audience. I said, fine. So I called him up 3-4 days back, and I told him, Arun, I'm going to give an education session. So how long should that session be? He said, Pawas, you can speak as long as you want, but you start sounding boring just after 10 minutes. So I'll try to make sure that in 10 minutes time, I'm able to deliver the most valuable aspects of opening the speech. Now, when I talk about opening of the speech, one thing that we always have to remember is that it's all about the first sight love. It's the first sight love that matters, and we have to create that kind of magic while opening a speech. Now, as the word of the day goes, ambassador, a speech is your thought process that you want to communicate with your listener. And the best way to do is engage him. So the most important aspect of opening a speech is what I call a hook. You need to create a hook. But before we get into what exactly are different types of hook that you can create, why is opening a speech important? Yeah, why a good opening of the speech is required. Let's keep it an open floor.
To get the attention of the audience.
Get the attention of an audience.
To make a first impression.
Make a first impression, yes.
Raise questions in their mind.
Raise question, curiosity.
Curiosity.
Exactly. And
involve the audience.
Involve the audience. Yes, so all these answers are precisely what goes into the making of hook. Engaging audience, making sure that your topic is definitely into their minds by making them question, why is he speaking on this particular topic? And importantly, to create a rapport. How can you make sure that your bond is created visually? You are able to just listen to the speech. Is that happening? Now, let me ask, which are the best openings you have ever heard? Some of the great openings of the speech that you have heard. Anyone?
So one of the icebreakers. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Don't worry, you will come to know about me. That was one of the openings of an icebreaker.
Okay, great. Now, I asked this question just because to understand that, are you really trying to think, what was that hook? Okay. Now, the important aspect of this entire activity was that you were exposed to two important things that you should know when you are going to deliver a speech. Are you the listener kind of a speaker, or are you just a speaker who makes sure that someone hears him? While Toastmaster Ram was mentioning his answer to me, I was banging my hand on the table. So you need to understand that to create an opening, a listener or the speech that you're going to deliver, you have to get an attention. People should listen to you, not hear you. You can hear a lot of things. A focused hearing is called listening. And that is what all is about opening a speech. Now, 3 of the important things that you should never do when you start a speech. First, don't be dull and boring. When I say don't be dull and boring, I've seen so many speakers, they come up. Today, my topic is greenhouse effect. I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages. Damn, are you going to speak like this? And I'm going to understand that greenhouse effect, which I'm not interested in? No, that's not going to happen. Another set of speakers who are just absolutely in love with themselves, and you invite them over the stage, and then they go like, I didn't get a chance to prepare as much, but I'm going to talk about it. Why should I listen to you if I'm not prepared? I'm here to listen to you some valuable aspects, and you're telling me you're not prepared? Imagine in a Toastmaster meeting, Raju comes up and he says, okay, our president delivered presidential address. He did not listen. Oh, I'm coming here and I'm going to address the gathering. Although I did not hear his speech, I'm sure it is going to be great. Oh, really? Baseless speech? Is that what you're going to do? No, never mention or acknowledge in large amounts. Do not start acknowledging. Okay, that I might not know anything, but I am a very good person. So don't do that. Always be considerate to your listeners. You're going to share something that they believe or they intend that can attract to them, that can change their perspective. Okay? Whenever you are listening or whenever you are delivering a speech, you are trying to add a perspective to someone's mind, to someone's life. It can change their mind. So make sure that you be very strong while creating that opening of the speech. And the last ones are the most interesting ones, because they think that they're being very comical about it, and they start like, today I'm going to talk on a very important topic, and I will tell you about 3 things that it has. But I will not disclose the topic. Yeah. It's like, I will tell you a joke, laugh, laugh. It's not like that. You can't do such kind of an opening. You have to create and build an opening based on the soul of the speech. The soul of the speech is very important. So till now we have covered what goes into the hook, the making of an opening, and what you not have to do. Now I'm going to share with you 4 different styles of opening that you can definitely use, or there are numerous types of openings you can do. But 4 are the ones that are most effective as what I have seen. The very first opening is the rhetorical devices, like our Sergeant Tans used in a particular way when he asked a question. Now, I remember that Craig Valentine uses in his speech, dreams are not for sale, and he starts like, raise your hand if you have a dream or a goal in mind. Right? It's posing a question, it's creating a hook. That why is he asking? I mean, everyone has a dream. Why is he asking? So that's creating a rapport, that's building the bond. He's trying to make sure that no matter what happens, every word that you're going to speak, you listen. You have to listen to him because he has connected. Okay? He's being childish, but he has my attention right now. Okay? The second kind is a very different kind of a thing. The second type of opening is called a surprise package. Okay? Surprise openings are only important if you know that your topic is very bland. Which is the bland topic in Toastmasters, all the manuals. I'm sure most of you know it, but still. Which is the most bland project that you all have to give? It's an icebreaker, right? Because you feel that there's so much to tell, but you have to invoke interest. So what do you do to surprise your audience? So when I was training under my mentor, he told me, Paras, if you really want to capture an audience, you have to start showing that you are special. And I'm going to just give you a snippet of how I open my icebreaker. So as a speaker, what starts is that the moment you get up from that chair and you come up to this place, the people are already making a judgment about you. Okay. So as you saw, the MC came here, she was smiling, she has built a rapport. But my speech opening was a little drastic. So I stood up and walked very seriously. I stood till the point the MC had sat. And I was looking at the audience. You! Stand on the chair! That's a surprise. You never expect such kind of a look. I was just referring to how my teacher used to scold me always. Okay. But no matter what happens, my voice was so shrill, and I pointed the guy got scared and he might have left Toastmasters. But it got an opening. I made sure that people listened to me. The icebreaker, although it was just a normal profile of what I have done, what I have been, there's no classiness, there was no soul in the speech, it's a bland topic. But the surprise element was, I was able to capture the attention. I made sure that people listened to me. People fell in love with the first instant. That's what your opening is all about. If you're not having a great opening of the speech, you will have a body just like mine. One question? Sure.
Okay. Can your opening be offensive?
Definitely. Was it offensive?
You stand on your chair. Was it offensive?
Yeah, it was pretty offensive. It was pretty offensive. I would definitely say that. So, I'm sure that he's a very lively Toastmaster. So you pick a person whom you know will not mind it.
You know him?
Smiling. Yeah, got it.
But is it also true when you speak to one, you're talking to all. You insult one, everybody feels insulted.
I agree. But, okay, let me put it like this. I said you stand on the chair when I asked another guy why are your shoes not polished, and then I mentioned that this was a great opening of one of my batchmates who was talking about a teacher whom we used to hate in a debate contest. And that is when I got inspired. Like, how can he speak so glib?
Would you like to say my teacher said, you stand on the chair. Then there is a perspective. Then there is a reference point.
Okay. If you start by my teacher said, what happens is the suspense, the rapport, the bond is little weak.
That has to be said in a bland, in a very.
So I feel if you do that, the surprise package is lost.
But surprise package is fine, but as long as it is not offensive.
It is, yeah, it depends. It depends. I mean, definitely. You will have all kinds of speakers who will come
But
and
when you ask, how did they felt when you said that? Why didn't you ask the audience?
I'm sorry?
Why don't you ask the audience how, and be honest?
Sure, please.
Say how you felt.
Well, I think you did take a very big risk, the cost and the payoff.
Yeah.
Okay, you may have got the payoff of attracting the audience.
Yeah.
But the cost would have been, I think, the cost was more than the payoff.
No, I think in that context, what I did was I started seriously. What I have learned in public speaking is all about emotions. So if I'm insulting someone, I took myself so down that people felt that they are about me. That's a challenge that you need to maintain as a speaker, that if you are insulting someone, you have to insult yourself so bad that people have to believe that this guy has done something. You have to make sure that your listener is always above you. If you feel you are above the listener, there is no way you're going to add a perspective to anyone. So
Listener above you or at the same level?
Listener should...
You shouldn't go above, you shouldn't go below. Same level
Yeah,
is better?
it's a spiral. That is why you...
That means you can go above and then you can go below?
Oh yeah. That's all the mixing of emotions.
You cannot mix emotion by being at the same level?
It is at times different. I mean, gone are those days when Martin Luther King was delivering a speech, I have a dream.
Why gone are the days?
Gone are the days because the attention, the focus span of people have reduced over a period of time. And that is actually true.
Focus depends on who the speaker is.
Okay.
You could speak for 20 minutes and people will be listening to you with rapport. I could speak for 2 minutes and they'll say, when is he going to sit down?
That is true. That definitely is true. So it's about maintaining the attention span of a human mind. Okay, let me get into cognitive sciences a little bit. I'll get to your question, just give me a sec. So in a cognitive sciences, a human mind can think about 7 different things in one particular second. Okay? Three things that a human mind always think is, one, what to worry about. Second thing is, what are the senses doing? That is touch, see, smell. Third thing is making judgment about that thing. Okay? Rest 4 all thoughts depends on what circumstances are. But that is how we tune our mind. So our focus span over a period of time, since our exoskeleton has changed in past 10,000 years, and it has developed with the technology. In 1950s, when our human mind was able to think only 3 thoughts, right now it can think 7 different thoughts. Right? There's a case study that has happened in, I think, Texas University, which has proved actually that. Sure?
I don't have a question, I just had a statement that there is not a fixed way of delivering a speech. Different audience can be very different in the mood and in the behavior. So when you said you stand there, actually I got scared, oh my god, what happened? Who did what? And sometimes when you give an emotional statement, sometimes maybe the rest of the audience will be attracted what you said.
Exactly.
So making the very strong opening, maybe the same formula will work for one set of audience, maybe it will not work for that one.
Yeah.
But being offensive, if you be offensive throughout your speech, then yeah, I think it's a very
Then it's an insult.
But if just a statement, I will take a chance. I will try
I'm a
to
responsible speaker. If someone wants me to stand on the stage, I'm responsible to their feelings. So I will make sure of that. That's a principle of being a speaker, I guess. Okay. Yes, sir. You had a question.
There is a fourth state. There is a fourth state too.
Yeah.
We're talking about 3 states.
Yeah.
That which witnesses these 3 states.
Okay.
The mind witnesses itself. That's the fourth state.
Okay. Thanks for adding to my knowledge.
It's called Turaiya.
Duraya.
Turaya.
Learning for the day. I'll take it. Okay. So should we continue?
Yeah.
So we had a surprise element, and the next one is about posing an important data in front of the people to get an audience inculcated into the speech. When I say that, you can either choose the easy way, which is the smiling way. Like if I'm talking about why not to smoke, and I go there and start with, do you know 70% of the people are dying because of smoking? And another aspect I can use, I have lost weight. I am losing it. You want to know the trick? I smoke. I'm losing 1 lung at a time. Okay, so you can use either of the techniques, but both are statistics. Both are actually the statistics. It's the way of presentation that makes me. Okay, the fourth one is if you can create a story of your lifetime or a particular anecdote which can connect to the entire speech. Okay, now this is important because I have seen so many people, they start with J.K. Rowling did this, and then I am this, and you should do this. Oh, really good. But how is the connection being made? How are you connected to J.K. Rowling? So if you are trying to deliver one particular aspect, make sure that you are relating everything together. Okay. For that, your opening has to be very different from how your conclusion has to be. Okay. I'll give you a snippet from my favorite speech that I did, International Cadet speech. It is called The Cotton Man. Dr. Ram was there. So I did something like this. When I was in college, I took part in weightlifting competition. As soon as the last participant came to the podium, there was a pin drop silence. The participant started walking towards the weights. As soon as the participants left the weight, the crowd erupted. Cotton Man! Cotton Man! Cotton Man! Cotton Man! This is not the dream, but the harsh reality. I was not the winner, but the unfortunate weight that was being lifted. Since the 60 kg bar was broken, I was persuaded to be its replacement in a women's weightlifting competition. Okay, totally different anecdote. The word of the topic, my speech title was Cotton Man. Okay, eventually I wanted to round off that no matter what happens, I might have lost many things, I might have lost my pride, but what I learned is that I can help people by listening. That was the entire concept of Cotton Man. Okay, so it starts with, it has again, aggressive styles as well as mix of humor. So when you start, make sure you have the mood swings going on and people are led into your speech rather than waiting to jump into the speaker overall. Okay, so we have covered basically 3 aspects. One is the importance of opening, as we discussed, that attention grabbing, building a rapport, and most importantly, engaging the topic. The second aspect that we discussed was about what not to do as the opening of the speech. Can someone summarize that?
Dull and boring.
Don't be dull and boring. Second?
Don't acknowledge the mass.
Yeah, don't acknowledge the audience like thank you, I have not prepared that. And the last one?
Don't be comical.
Don't be comical, or don't create a suspense as such, which is not. Don't delay the topic. I will tell you about the topic later. No one has that much of time. Okay. Then we discussed numerous techniques. The very first was not the suspense. The first was
Raising a question.
raising, posing a question, rhetorical opening. That creates and invokes an interest. The second was the surprise that went on for a surprisingly long time. The third was about
Important data.
statistics. The fourth one was about anecdote. Okay, and the four minutes have been given. Humor is part of any of the openings that you can create. Just make sure that whenever you deliver a topic, you are adding a value to someone. The opening is a perspective that they're looking for. Build it. And no matter what happens, please keep that smile whenever you're talking, because it's the second best thing you can do with your lips. I can tell you from guarantee. Okay, back to you.